After the Nicaraguan Assembly passed a law approving the creation of the Caribbean Biosphere Reserve over an area already recognized by UNESCO and in litigation in The Hague, the environmental corporation Coralina made a statement taking into account that it is the entity that administers the Seaflower Biosphere Reserve.
ANATO announces the exact dates of the fair that usually takes place at the end of this month, which for its 40th version will be held in April. The Executive Director of ANATO's San Andrés chapter confirmed the participation of the archipelago.
Through ANATO national official website, it was announced that registration for the 2021 ANATO Showcase are now being accepted, as well as the exact date when it will take place.
El día de hoy y es la apertura de la inscripción a la vitrina turística número 40.
We have a very special invitation today, and it is the opening of the registration for the 40th Tourism Showcase of the Colombian Association of Travel Agencies, ANATO, to be held from April 28th to the 30th in Corferias in the city of Bogota. We are open to all travel agencies, airline operators, hotel operators, all the chain of the tourism sector to join us in this new version of the event.
The changes of the date is due to the behavior of the pandemic and the damage it has caused. Even so, the showcase will have the presence of the archipelago as announced by the Executive Director of ANATO, San Andrés Chapter.
Una vez más, el Departamento Archipiélago de San Andrés, Provincia de Santa Catalina.
Of course, once again, the destination of San Andrés, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina has the opportunity to show to the world the different products that they offer and the different attractions that we can find in the department.
The event will have all the biosecurity measures and will not have the same number of participants and visitors as it used to be, nor it will have the participation of international countries.
And after the Nicaraguan Assembly passed a law approving the creation of the Caribbean Biosphere Reserve over an area already recognized by UNESCO and in litigation in The Hague, the environmental corporation Coralina made a statement taking into account that it is the entity that administers the Seaflower Biosphere Reserve.
This is the law that declares and defines the Nicaraguan Caribbean Biosphere Reserve, an initiative that was approved with majority on votes and that will include in the 72 protected areas as a biosphere reserve, maritime area returned to the Nicaragua by the International Court of Justice. Before this, the Colombian Ministry of Foreign Affairs presented a note of protest to Nicaragua in which they claimed that under the pretext of measure of environmental protection and contrary to international law, Nicaragua includes and qualifies portions of the Caribbean Sea as if they were part of its territory. They also stated that this measure by Nicaragua does not comply with international requirements and procedures for recognitions of area and places of special environment interest and protections, reiterating that this decision by Nicaragua, which ignores the existence of the Seaflower Biosphere Reserve declared in 2000 by the UNESCO. For this reason, the director of the environmental corporation Coralina, René Britton, which is the entity in charge of managing the Seaflower Biosphere Reserve, expressed his support to this protest note sent by the national government to the cameras of Teleislas News.
The only international organization that decides that the Seaflower Biosphere Reserve is maintained with the program Man and the Biosphere of UNESCO is the UNESCO and not any other authority. Therefore, we, with the political will of the national government, which is maintained, that is, whether or not Nicaragua has declared a biosphere reserve through its legislative bodies is up to them. But we have a reserve declared by UNESCO and that is maintained. The 180 kilometers are maintained. All the management plans and the actions in governance and controllability in terms of implementation are maintained until UNESCO says otherwise.
The director stated that Coralina will continue its legal and constitutional mandate as administrator of the Biosphere Reserve Seaflower and under the institutional and operational capacity to comply with this mandate.
And by means of a decree, the governor of the Archipelago Department announced that he will assume the cost of the electric energy service corresponding to the month of December 2020, specifically for users of strata 1, 2, and 3 of the island of San Andrés and all strata of the municipality of Old Providence and Santa Catalina. The decree published on February 9 states that for users who have already paid for the service, The amount assumed by the department will be credited or considered as payment towards the user's following billing period.
And a strong blockade located in Perry Hill was organized by members of the community of this sector who stated that they have been without water service for more than 2 months.
The community of the Perry Hill sector is asking for the presence of the entities in charge of providing them water service, which is vital to attend to children and elderly during the current pandemic that is being experienced worldwide to the sound of pots and buckets.
Reclamando los servicios del agua que tenemos 2 meses.
Here we are in the Perry Hill neighborhood begging for water services. We have 2 months without water. There is a pandemic. They tell us that there is a damage. That is a lie, because in North End there is water for the tourists. And what about the residents? We also want water. There are children, there are elderly people, and they don't provide us with water. Who responds? Veolia, please come forward, Veolia.
Another resident sent a message to the governor of the islands.
Así que por favor le pedimos de que
Please, we ask you to comply. The people are tired, and this could turn into a major problem because the police are demanding that we move out from here.
The community in general also stated that they will be blocking the street for 3 days or until they are attended to by the entities in charge.
And in other news, Teleislas signal is now available on Claro Video, and you can tune in on different devices at any time.
The streaming platform Claro Video included in its platform the live signal of Teleislas channel. In this way, viewers will have another option to enjoy from any time and place through their smartphone or computer all the programming including news, sport and entertainment, in addition to content that highlights the ethnic identity of the racial people in Creole, English and Spanish.
It is very good that Teleislas is now within the offer of Claro Video channels, because all our Claro TV customers in their offer within the television package already have the possibility of enjoying the Teleislas channel. Being on the streaming platform will allow them to access it on Claro Video at any time from anywhere without having to be at home, whether they are in a public transport, at a medical appointment, or whenever there is an internet connection. They can at any time from anywhere enjoy all the content of Teleislas programming, which is ultimately focused on news, sports and entertainment.
Teleislas is available in the tab called Live TV in the Claro streaming platform. Likewise, Claro customers, mobile and landline, will be able to watch Teleislas programming from their cell phones without consuming data.
And with this information, we reach to the end of our broadcast. See you tomorrow at 1 p.m. on another broadcast of Teleislas News.
And I'll see you at the 8 p.m. broadcast. Good night.